Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys feeling today? This is our late night special with POP Buchanan. I'm the host of the Sober is Dope podcast. And today I want to talk about how to reduce stress in your life and how I reduce stress in my life so I could be more successful in my recovery. So the first thing I want to say is, for me, I had to prioritize. Making myself a priority is the most important thing I could do. I had to do for success in my recovery and also for discipline in my training and in my craft. So for most of you guys who don't know me, I'm into the music industry. What I do is I work on my own music and I work with my producers and stuff like that. And I'm constantly working on multiple projects. In addition to that, I'm the host of a Sober is Dope podcast, which is one of my pride and joys. I love giving back to the recovery community and really communicating with people. First and foremost, I couldn't be effective as a businessman and as a child of God, as a family man, as a boyfriend, as an uncle, putting, if I didn't put my mental health, my spiritual health, and my personal health in the front as a priority. So the first thing I want to say to you guys out there is, you probably leaving a lot on the table. My advice to you is to really prioritize your life, and figure out what's important to you. Too many times we spread ourselves too thin, and I don't want that for you guys. So that's my first thing. Um, Also, having a spiritual center, I think that's extremely important for me. Reconnecting back to God, reconnecting back to self, reconnecting back to nature is extremely important to me. And how I do that is every day I go for a walk, and I really try to connect with God in nature. And that means that I disconnect from technology, television, people, and I go for a walk in the park or the forest. I might go to a lake or a pond, and I might spend usually a good 45 minutes to an hour daily in nature. And that's when I communicate. As I'm walking or jogging and exercising, I'm praying, telling God what I'm praying to God, telling God what I'm grateful for. So I'm using gratitude as a real good measuring rod for how far I've come, and to remember that it could always be worse, right? The other thing that I do when I'm in nature to reduce stress, ladies and gentlemen, is I practice mindfulness. I take my time. I try to look for animals. I notice the insects, even the smallest fly that's moving, the spider webs. And now I can notice a spider web from far away. I notice gigantic spiders on a light post. I notice the raccoons. I notice all these little things, the skunks and the tadpoles in the pond, and how the earth smells when it rains, how the trees smell and everything. That's practicing mindfulness while I'm praying and connecting back to God in a natural environment. Totally beneficial for stress reduction. You wouldn't believe it. Another thing that's important to understand is that when you're dealing with stress reduction, mindfulness, and things like that, and reducing stress, it's important to have gratitude and be mindful of the things in your life that are really going well. And that's the little things. For me, I didn't catch a cold for the last 6 months because my health regimen improved. That's a big thing for me. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that my mother is healthy. I'm grateful that my mother's still alive. I'm grateful that I still have all my brothers and sisters are healthy. I'm grateful that I'm still prolific in my podcast and in my music. I'm grateful that I didn't catch COVID, right? And God bless all the people that lost family members and lost their lives due to COVID-19. So I'm grateful for that, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to be honest there. those are little things that you could use to reduce stress. The more that you're paying attention to what's going well in your life, the less you're going to complain, the less you're going to be at dis-ease or in disharmony, because it brings you back to a point of humility. And humility is important. Being humble is important. Sometimes, I catch myself sometime, oh man, this didn't work out, and I'm up there. And God's like, man, you could have been dead years ago, and you're still here. I made it through addiction. I made it through the loss of my father. I made it through multiple relationships that didn't work out. I made it through betrayal. I made it through my own chaos that I created, because I have to be accountable, and I'm still alive, and I'm healthy, and I feel good. So when you want to reduce stress in your life, be mindful. The next thing I want to say is, try to have some form of balance when it comes to your diet and nutrition. I swear, I can't stress this enough. As human beings, we're gonna mess up. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna break our diet. We're gonna give in. But what I'm starting to realize, how I find success is, I'm literally able to do little things like this. Like, have this cup of tea. This is a cup of tea. Now look what I have in here. This is apple cider vinegar, ground cloves, turmeric, ground ginger, decaffeinated green tea, milk thistle, and what else do I have in here? That's pretty much it. And cayenne pepper. So this is like a tonic. And if I do this at least 3 times a week, I don't have to do it every day, right? This is what I'm talking about, balance. If I do this 3 times a week, I know I have a lot of antioxidants inside, right? Take a little sip. For all my brothers and sisters who's not here with us, drinking water. Make sure you have your apple cider vinegar in your water. Make sure you get adequate amounts of potassium, magnesium, vitamin D3, zinc, and just have a general multivitamin. But those, and some omega-3s, those are the most important things, I think. Magnesium, my body burns magnesium extremely fast. So you get magnesium from green things, anything that's green, cruciferous vegetables. One of the most healthiest things you can eat is cruciferous vegetables. Also, dark chocolate has a lot of magnesium, and selenium. So those are 3 sources of magnesium. Zinc is extremely important for immunity. And I knew this prior to COVID, and that's what helped me throughout the whole COVID. And we're still going through the pandemic. But I didn't really get sick. And I was surprised. I was like, I usually get sick once or twice during the winter. And because I stayed on the vitamin D and I stayed on the zinc, I was able to maintain a real good health, and I didn't get sick. And I'm thankful for that. So make sure you're taking your vital building blocks. These vitamins and these minerals are really important. One thing you could take that gives you all of these vitamins and minerals in one is Irish sea moss. It's really good. So check that out. Maybe it tastes, I don't like the taste of it, but sometimes you have to have the discipline. But you could blend it with some almond milk or oat milk, and then you could drink that. So nutrition, being mindful of your nutrition, having some go-to disciplines that you could fluctuate and have as a template while you're eating your pizza and your burgers and stuff like that. Humans are going to be humans. My new thing now is I want you to have some home base, some grounds where okay, here are a few principles I could continuously do at least 3 to 4 times a week to find balance. Eventually you'll catch up. But sometimes when we really go off the deep end and we cheat and we have cake and pizza, we start feeling like we feel guilt and shame. And then we just throw in the towel. I don't want you to throw in the towel. I want you to just be patient and know that if you fall off the wagon with your diet and nutrition, you could get back on. But doing little things like having your tea, having your water in the morning with vinegar, It helps with your metabolism. It helps with the visceral fat. It helps with detoxifying the liver and just keeping you healthy. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a medical doctor. Consult your physician for any medical advice or anything like that. Just a few tips that I use. So vitamin D, zinc, potassium, magnesium, and your vitamin D3. That's things that you could do to help reduce the stress. Because if your brain needs a lot of power, and if you don't give it the building blocks that it needs, it gets exhausted and you get tired. When your brain gets tired, you get depressed, right? There was a study link with a doctor who that made a connection between stress and and cancer, and he noticed that the more a person was depressed or the more they were stressed, the the more prone they were to have cancer-like symptoms. So we know stress is a class B carcinogen, lack of sleep is a carcinogen, and so when you're thinking about dealing with stress, ladies and gentlemen, just keep it real basic. Another thing is mindful breathing. So let's take a break, take another sip of tea, right? And we practice mindful breathing in through your nose. Make sure your stomach expands. This is how you properly breathe. You breathe in through your nose, and as you're breathing, your stomach and your diaphragm should expand like a balloon, then out through your mouth. Don't breathe too hard because that's not good. Do soft breathing. You know, you want to take in long breaths. Make sure your stomach expands. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you take 9 deep breaths when you're stressed, when you first wake up in the morning, if something gets you upset, that deactivates something known as the parasympathetic response. But we know that as the fight or flight response, that fear response that we have, where signals from our environment could cause us to be anxious and afraid. And then our breathing starts to become rapid and shallow. And then we get stressed out, we get a little flustered, and we get anxiety. How you reduce that is you calm down and you take some deep breaths. Make sure when you breathe in, you're conscious of your shoulders. Let your shoulders relax. All right? Let your shoulders relax. The next thing I want us to do is talk about the importance of prayer and having a prayer life. Now, the first thing I want to say, I love God. I'm a child of Jesus Christ. I love Jesus Christ. I believe in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is my Lord and personal Savior. But I know that there's many people out there who have different religions, different denominations. What I want to say to you is that God is going to hear you no matter what religion or where, whatever, it doesn't matter. When you're in darkness and you're stressed out and you're afraid, even if you don't have the guidance to know what your religion is or what you should believe in, even if you feel like you don't want to believe in God, you can still pray. Pray to your ancestors, pray to the universe, pray to the sun, pray to the moon, pray to the stars, pray. Pray to something greater than you to give you the strength to carry on, and give that gratitude in your heart to what may have created us, the source. You know, I don't want anyone to ever feel limited with and feel like they don't have access to the power of prayer based on dogma, religion, and denominational stuff. I want you to always feel like you're worthy. Listen to me closely. You're worthy. If you're alive and you're breathing, you come from God. You belong to a higher power. Something amazing and beautiful that we can't really describe and put our finger on created us, and we're all here together to experience love, to be kind, and we're not here to stress. So what I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay to be afraid sometimes. It's okay to be uncertain, and it's sometimes even okay to be angry at the universe and angry with God. But it doesn't mean that you have to close yourself off to the possibility of connecting to that beautiful source of creation. So don't limit yourself there. And when you're stressed out, pray, right? I'm going to show you guys how to do a prayer that takes not too much effort. You could just close your eyes, right? Get quiet. Practice your breathing like I told you. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And you can say, God, I thank you for my life. I thank you for my breath. I thank you for me. I thank you for everyone that I love. I thank you for waking me up today. And I thank you for the world. And I pray for everyone out there that they have love, they find love, they become love, and they find happiness in their life. Please, God, please help me find happiness, find purpose, and to find peace. Thank you. I'm with you. Amen. Simple, simple. Peace. See, ladies and gentlemen, the goal in life is always, and this is always going to be a constant, the goal in life is always going to be constant, consistently peace, peace of mind, peace of heart, love. You know, we all want to make money. We all want to be rich. But what happens when you gain the whole world, but you still don't have peace? Look at the news. Look at the media. We see all these millionaires out here. They're not happy. They're not happy, man. I mean, money takes away a certain level of stress where you don't have to worry about bills or the day-to-day stuff. Good. But I guarantee you, if you're not right in here, if you're not right here and you're not at peace, no matter how much money you have, you're just going to have more expensive problems, more expensive headaches, and more expensive stress. That's it. So it's a trap. So this is my advice to you. If you're not rich yet and that's your goal and you think that becoming rich is going to make you happier, try your best to find peace of mind, heart, and spirit now. So when you do get that money, you could be truly at peace. That's what I want for you guys. All right? Don't think that any external thing in the universe is going to give you peace. It's not going to be a car. It's not going to be another person. Another person can help you get closer. But if you can't find peace within yourself, then you're going to be on this never ending journey of trying to find that. And that's what we're put here for. I believe that we were born to contribute to life, to experience life, to experience love, to participate in love, loving ourselves, loving one another, being at peace, finding excitement, following a passion that's within. Filling that void within comes from finding ways to create and contribute back to life. Right now, I'm at peace doing this video with you guys because I believe this is part of my purpose, to just talk to someone out there, to give back. It's too many cases I feel like we don't connect with our true nature of what we want. We don't believe. 7.5 years ago, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm 7.5 years sober today. 7.5 years ago, I wanted to be here in this way where I could do these type of things and speak to people in this type of way, at peace and put together and feeling accomplished and whole. But I was so broken and so disconnected from myself that I was miserable because I wasn't really connecting with my true potential. I was looking for peace of mind and everything in the bottle, drinking and feeling like that, and didn't know why I was trapped because I was not following my heart. And my heart was, I knew I was supposed to be sober and to be one with God, to be peaceful, mind my business, find my voice, and try to just keep creating and not being part of the noise of the world, but being part of the peace of the world, right? You can either be part of the chaos or the peace. And I chose peace in my life, right? Now, because I have less stress and because I have less apprehension and anxiety, I could connect more with my true nature and I could give back more to the world. So I'm just being me, how God made me, simply. No drugs, no alcohol, no stress, no embellishing. I'm not perfect, ladies and gentlemen, but this is why I want to talk to you today. Stress comes from you not being honest about yourself, where you need to be, where you want to be. we put pressure on ourselves. Like, I'm 40 years old. I know I made mistakes in my life, so I'm not quite where I think I could have been today, right? But I think God made me, I went on my detour for a reason so I could be here in this way. Like, what if it was another fate and I didn't make it? What if I wasn't supposed to be, like, my choice and my detour allow me to be alive today in this way with you? So I'm slightly different from what I perceive myself to be at this point, right? I didn't quite accomplish all of the goals that I feel like I could have, but I don't live in regret that way. I laugh at it and say, it's okay that I'm not a millionaire yet. It's okay that I don't have some big mansion. It's okay if I don't have 100 cars, but I have peace of God in my heart. I have knowledge of myself. I have peace in my family. I have peace of mind, and I know who I am. And I'm a millionaire in heart and in spirit. And everything else that comes at this point is icing on the cake, because I made peace with myself and peace in my life. So I'm not worrying about what the world is doing. I'm not worrying about what people think about me. I'm concerned with how I think about me, which brings me to my next point, ladies and gentlemen. Love yourself. Fight for that love. Don't fight for the love of other people or the approval of other people. Fight real hard for the love of yourself, to learn yourself, to accept yourself, your shortcomings. There's so many things about me that I wish I could have changed when I was younger. And now I love my flaws, right? I know them, I use them to become a better person. So now my biggest flaws is part of my most beautiful traits, and I'm at peace with that. I learned to love myself. I learned to take care of myself, right? I'm not perfect, but no, and I learned that it's okay to not, we're not designed to be perfect. Our perfection in life comes from our uniqueness, right? We don't know how perfect we are because God created us. We came from our parents and our ancestors, and they come from God. You go all the way back to the beginning, and the first ones that was created came from God. And in that beauty, we're perfect in that way, right? So we're all unique, and you have to embrace your uniqueness, right? No matter what that looks like, what it sounds like, embrace it. It's all we have. We're in the middle of the Milky Way. It's all we have. So love yourself for what you have, what you're working with, whatever you're working with. Give me those raw materials and I can show you a king and I can show you a queen. Your raw materials is something of a miracle, is something beautiful, and is something to be marveled. So believe in yourself, and that's it. That's it. That's how you eliminate stress, ladies and gentlemen. You love yourself enough not to be bothered by the world and bothered by the fantasies and bothered by the anxieties and bothered by fear. I'll tell you guys another secret. The brain loves to play with you when it comes to fear. You have a part of your brain called the amygdala, and it's a part of our primitive brain, and its job is to protect you. So it's always going to create a fear response to your environment because it wants you to be cautious of your surroundings, because that part of your brain wants you to be careful and preserved. So you have to understand that and say everything that you think about and that you're afraid of is probably just a part of your brain. It's an imagination. It's not really always real. So stop being so scared. Stop being so afraid. Stop worrying about what people's going to think. Stop worrying about what people's going to do. Stop worrying about what people's saying about you. Just focus on you. Reaffirm, right? That you're great, you're courageous, you're beautiful, you're mighty, and you are worthy. And this is not a cliche, I'm telling you. If you don't believe you're worthy, then it doesn't matter. No one else really can, no one cares. everyone on the planet is going to really, at the bottom line, humans are designed for self-preservation. So if you're worrying about the world, you're going to lose yourself. The way you preserve yourself is by loving yourself and saying, no, I'm in love myself. So I'm not going to look for someone else to give me approval. I'm not going to look for, now, the more you love yourself, the more you can love other people and the more you can give back, right? You're not going to be taking from people. You're not going to be so consumptuous. You're going to be more willing to give of yourself. And in this way, you find knowledge. In this way, you find peace. And in this way, you find solace. Back to breath. Let's breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. At peace. Drink your tea, mind your business. Say your prayers. Take your vitamins. Try to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits. Drink a lot of water. Try to get some sleep. And remember, reconnect every day in nature. Go for your walk. Get out there. And when you're praying in nature, practice mindfulness, right? I'm showing you guys the way. You can exercise by walking. I'm not asking you to run. I'm saying walk. Take long walks in the park, in nature. Breathe. Take in the air. Connect with animals. Connect with the insects. Connect with the trees. Connect with the wind. Breathe. Go back to nature. Pray. Thank God for be grateful. Thank God for your life. List and say all the things as you're walking that you're grateful for. Reconnect back to source. Reaffirm that you love yourself. Reaffirm that you're worthy, right? Right? And find peace within yourself. So as you pray and as you connect with nature, you become whole. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, practice meditation. Meditation. And I'm going to show you guys how to meditate right now. You don't have to sit in lotus position. You see how I'm sitting? You can meditate just like this, hands just like this. This is how you meditate. Close my eyes. I'm not going to worry about what I'm thinking. I'm just going to slowly breathe. And I'm going to accept all of the thoughts that come through my mind. I'm going to witness these thoughts. I'm not going to judge them. They may be bizarre. In time, these thoughts will start to disappear. Then you'll find a stillness and a quiet peace, the place where good meditators go. But it starts with a couple of minutes of just quiet, mindful breathing. Here we go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. You hear that? Listen. Peace. Quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is POP Buchanan. I'm the host of the Sober is Dope podcast. I'm 7 years sober. I'm a child of God, college graduate, hip hop artist, writer, poet, designer, child of God, man. My dad name is Rain. My mom name is Cher. I love them both. God bless them. God bless my brothers and sisters, and God bless all my family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, go in peace. May you be with God. May you love yourself, and don't let stress you out. Thank you for joining me on my late night special. I'll catch you guys on the other side. Peace.